Hey YouTube. Um, so this will be the story of Haisley and her little trials, I guess, that she had before she got to where she is now. Cause I'll be posting, videos of her. Whenever I went into the hospital, they seen that there was dips in her heart rate, which means that she was in distress for some reason. They couldn't figure out why. They tested me for a bunch of different things for preeclampsia and all that. It all came back negative, so they still don't know what happened to this day. Just the placenta wasn't giving her what she needed. So she was born 2.5 months early, and she weighed 2 pounds 1.2 ounces. That day she was put on a ventilator, and she was put under Billy lights, which is for babies that are jaundice. By that night, she was off of the ventilator and put on a CPAP machine, and she was on that for a little bit, probably less than a month, but close to a month. But that's just standards. They have to wait that long. She did pretty good all the time with it. So she didn't really have much problems with the whole breathing. Whenever they took her off the CPAP machine, she was on and off a nasal cannula, which just blows air, room air, into her nose. And that helped her remind herself to breathe, because preemies tend to forget to breathe sometimes. They're hooked up to a monitor that will alert the nurses whenever their heart rate drops or their oxygen drops, and that's just considered a B or a D. Whenever the heart rate drops, it's called a B, and whenever their oxygen drops, it's called a D. And so set off an alarm, and the nurse will come in and rub the baby and make sure that they wake up out of their sleep, because they tend to sleep real heavy and just forget to breathe sometimes. So yeah, she's on nasal cannula. A few weeks into it, she got diagnosed with something called NEC. NEC. It is called necrotizing enterocolitis. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. But if you just Google NEC, it'll come up. It's a common thing that happens in the preemie world, but it is one of the most dangerous and the scariest things that happen to them. Regardless of how common it is, it's not good. Their bellies can get real big, and what it is their intestines are dying off, and they have little air bubbles that are trapped in it. It's an infection. They told me that if it was going to get worse, it was going to get worse that night, and if it were to get worse, she would have to be moved to a different hospital that does surgeries like that. Luckily it didn't get bad. It just kind of stayed where it was. She didn't even know that she was sick the whole time. I was terrified. I slept in a chair right next to her bed in the NICU. I didn't leave. I was pretty scared. I'm glad I had the nurse that I had that night, and she helped me through a lot. She got down on her knees and hugged me, because I was bawling my eyes out, because I Googled it and I shouldn't have. So if you Google it, you're going to see a lot of bad things. Her case was very good. All they seen was a little tiny drop of blood in her poop, and that was it. And they acted on it quickly and got a x-ray of her intestines, and the first x-ray came back fine, and then they did a follow-up one the next day, and that one showed the air bubbles, which hers wasn't that bad. It was the beginning stages of it, so they caught it soon. So for about 5 days, they did not feed her anything. They had her on antibiotics, and that's pretty much what you do about NEC, is belly rest and antibiotics. She's right here, that's why I keep looking down. You want to say a hi? She's just laying on me because she was fussy laying in her bed. She just wanted to be by me, I guess. I keep checking to make sure she's breathing. I'm so used to that monitor, and I can look and see what her oxygen levels are and her heart rate, and I know that nothing's wrong, and now I'm just sitting here staring at her are you breathing? Are you okay? Which I'm sure a lot, even like newborn moms of normal babies like are like, hey, are you breathing? Like, so yeah, she just in order for them to leave the NICU, they have to be in an open bed, which is that like what a normal full-term baby would be in, and not the incubator that regulates their temperature for them and keeps them warm. They have to be in the open bed and gaining weight consistently, even in the open bed, because their body has to regulate its own temperature and uses extra calories to do so. So they want to make sure that she's up to standards to like a full-term newborn and will be okay being sent home. She hasn't had any alarms in almost over a week. She passed her car seat test, which is they have to sit in the car seat for 90 minutes and their oxygen levels cannot drop or they can't set off an alarm. They also have to be eating completely by bottle, the whole bottle, every 3 hours so that the feeding tube can be out. She just kind of like learned everything all at once. Like, she quit having alarms, she started eating the bottle, she got taken out of the bed, and she just did everything really good all at once. So she's getting sent home pretty early, which makes me a little nervous. She's only 4 pounds, 9 ounces. So I'm nervous. I spent all day like cleaning the crap out of her room. I'm just stressed out, which I think any new mom that's never brought home a newborn, let alone a preemie mom that's sitting here at a hospital where everything's like no germs and she's hooked up to monitors, so you know what she's doing all the time, and to go from that to nothing is scary, which is what this nesting room is for, which is super, super nice that they do that, because now I will have her overnight here, so in case I have any questions I could just call them, or you know, it's really, really nice. It makes me feel more comfortable going home. I'm pretty sure that that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say. If you guys have any questions about anything, just let me know and comment and I will make more videos. Alright, bye.